run out of gas.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
We got you,
All
man.
right. I'm an addict. My name is Raymond. Thank you, Glenn. I live in Brooklyn, New York. I am in a hotel room in Fort Myers, Florida. So I gotta relax. I can't be yelling and screaming. It's 11 o'clock at night over here, 11:15. And so let me just get into my story real quick. I want to welcome everyone to Narcotics Anonymous. I texted a couple of my friends last minute, so I want to thank them for coming and hanging out with me. And Glenn, thank you for being, just a beautiful man in my life. You and your wife, thank you so much. Um, so I'm a drug addict, right? I use drugs. I tried every which way possible to find any which way possible to use any drug successfully, and I failed miserably. Right. So I didn't know what I was on this journey. I was trying to accomplish this goal. I didn't know what it was until I got clean. I was able to understand. Um, Total abstinence was not something that it wasn't a goal of mine. It wasn't a good idea. It wasn't appealing. It wasn't a concept that I could wrap around my head. I never thought about total abstinence. I never heard the concept until I came to Narcotics Anonymous. I was out there trying to find any which way, a little bit of that, drink, smoke, pill, anything, white, brown, wet, dry. I'm a drug addict. And so I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I went to jail and I got stabbed and I got the drug addict story, right? So, I broke my mother's heart. I embarrassed my family. I was ashamed of myself. I couldn't believe that I turned into the monster and the punk that I turned into. I couldn't believe that I ended up the way I ended up. I never imagined I would be like that. Anytime I found myself messed up, beat up, or anytime somebody tried to convince me that I had a problem, I'd always been able to find someone who was worse than me in a worse condition, or did a worse drug in my mind. Just I always find a way to justify, rationalize, um, compare, and continue my insanity. So that's my addiction, right? I couldn't use successfully. I was trying to find a way, and I was messed up, kicking in doors and all, just taught. And I ended up in an institution, in many institutions, but in this one institution, H and I came in, right? H and I, the I love H and I. Very grateful for those who do H and I. If you do service in H and I, thank you so much. H and I saved my life, and so I was in an institution, and this H and I guy came in. He didn't look nothing like me. He didn't look like he came from where I came from. He was culturally different, you know, just and my disease, I didn't know I had a disease at the time, but my head, my thinking was, what is this guy gonna tell me? This guy don't come from where I come from. This guy, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, he shared for 15, 20 minutes, like I'm gonna share tonight. And that day, hope, what I told people was that hope exploded in my heart that day without my permission. Something shifted for me, something happened internally, spiritually, and what if something happened to me where I knew that there were addicts like me, worse than me. Um, there were addicts that were staying clean and they had found a new way to live. I heard the message. And that day everything shifted for me. So I came out of that institution. I came home December 24th, 1990. I remember coming home. I'm Puerto Rican, and my family was having that. I'm in Florida now with my family. They just had the coquito out, the Puerto Rican eggnog. They just had it out. They were taking their shots. They were coming in, they were doing their thing like they were December 24th, 1990. And I had a decision to make. You know, do I go home with, just coming out of institution, or do I make the meeting? The H&I guy said, some of you guys need to run, not walk. Some of you people need to run to an NA meeting like your life depends on it, because for some of you in this room, your life depends on it. And I knew he was talking to me, right? My life depended on it. And so I got out the car. I didn't know that this decision was going to be a vital decision. I didn't know it was a third step decision. I didn't know, but I went to the meeting, and I met a guy named Chip, and I met a girl. I met an Irish guy named Chip and a Polish girl named Irene. I'll never forget them because they impacted my life greatly. I met an old man named Ray K. I met another old man named John C. Like, I remember 30, 1990. I still remember, um, like it was last week. They welcomed me. They were very nice. They were very warm. It was foreign. It was uncomfortable. They were being too nice to me. What do they want? Usually when you're being nice to somebody, you're trying to get in their pockets. You're trying to manipulate them. These people weren't doing that. So, um, I made meetings, right? Just real, I made meetings. I was told that meeting makers make it. Those who make meetings regularly stay clean. I was told, that if I used every day, I need to be making a meeting every day. If I used every day, I shouldn't have a problem making a meeting every day, And I made meetings. I got clean feet or smart feet or whatever. My feet used to take me to cop spots. Now my feet were taking me to meetings. Monday, I would go to Clean and Green on Leonard Street. Tuesday, I go to DeVoe Street. Wednesday, I would go to Esperanza. Thursday, I go to Savings and Life. Friday, I would go to Alive in Wintersburg. Saturday, I go to Keep It Green. Sunday, I go to Recovery in the War Zone. Like that was every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday. 1991. I came home December 24th. I was going to meetings. I got clean feet. I got smart feet. I made meetings. I made meetings, and I made more meetings. And I wish I could say I stay clean from that. They told me that in Narcotics Anonymous, all the suggestions that they give us are free. The only ones you have to pay for are the ones you don't take, right? And so they told me to stay away from people, places, and things. Stay away from people, places, and things. Stay away from. I did good for 99 days, and then I made a weird left turn, Gil. I wanted to go show the people, the homeboys, that thugs do recover. I had the key tags back then. Key tags were a big deal. Everybody's wearing key tags, and I had my little 4 key tags: the white, orange, green, and red. 4 key tags, and the disease, spoke to me in my own voice, lied to me. I should have never, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I didn't call my sponsor. I went to people, places, and things, and I smoked again. Um, and I came back from the relapse. Thank God I made it back. I know a lot of people sometimes say, I'll never come back. I'll never, worse than relapsing is not coming back. You know what I mean? Like, there's something worse than relapsing. Like, I hope nobody relapses, but God forbid you do relapse. Don't let your ego keep you out. Don't let your pride keep you out there. You come back home, you run back ASAP, fast as you can. So I came back. I didn't stay out there long. I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. But I came back from my relapse, and I was welcome, and I was loved, and I was embraced. And, so February 28th, 1991 is my clean date. 1991, February 28th is my clean date. And I've been clean ever since. So I made meetings again. I got a sponsor. I learned to take more suggestions. I got a commitment. I do. This is not complicated. The problem is that addicts, we overthink it. Like, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, right? And we have a saying. So in New York, you can have free lunches. When you're young, you go to school and get a free lunch. Even if it's no school, you get a free lunch. And I would go to school or get their free lunch, and we would joke around and banter and do stupid things, and we would mess up our free lunch. We would get thrown out, and no more free lunches because you don't know how to act. I would ruin a free lunch. And addicts, we can ruin, something so simple, we ruin it. We overthink it. I overthink it. I think my way around it. I think my way, make meetings, bro. Like, make meetings. And I needed to learn how to just shut up and make meetings. So I made meetings. I got myself a sponsor. I did service. And so now I stood in, stay away from people. I stood away from people, places, and things. I stood away from my family for many years. A couple of years I couldn't come back. So that was with my family. I could not do that my first 3 years. I had to stay away. All right. And so I got clean. I started doing step work. I started, working the program at some point. I began to change. Once I put down the drugs, I got all these other issues, right? And so the drugs is just a symptom, which I didn't even like that neither. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what they're talking about. Drugs was my problem. No, I have a disease called addiction, and I got to understand that drugs is the most obvious symptom. And even though it whipped my behind like nothing else, I got to understand that after I put down the drugs, I still got the disease of addiction, and it could kill me without the drugs. I can go to jail without the drugs. I can make myself depressed. I can make myself depressed. I can put on music and make myself think about sad things and make myself think about, and I got a disease. I got a dis-ease. It speaks to me in my own voice. It just is cunning, baffling, insidious. It speaks to me like it's my best friend, like it has my best interest, like it's my lover, and all the while it's trying to kill me. And so I had to learn, you got an enemy inside of you. And so I need to use the tools of the program. And so I did. I used my sponsor. I'll tell you, my friend Gil is here. I got my other friends. I got people here. I talk to them. I share my crazy thinking with them, right? That's a very important part of the second step. Share my insane thoughts. You're going to think insane things, right? It's normal to think crazy if you're an addict in recovery. What I need to do is share those thoughts. Bring them to light. It loses its power when you share them in the light. When you share it, it loses its power. If you keep it in the secret, it gets worse and it festers and grows. And so I needed to learn, okay, first step, I got a disease. It's not going nowhere. It doesn't matter how long I'm clean. Doesn't matter who's my higher power. It doesn't matter how much money I got. If I got the new iPhone, nothing. It doesn't matter. I got a disease. It's not going nowhere. Second step, I think crazy things. It's my thinking is what is going to get me in trouble. I got to filter my thinking. I got my corner people in my second step. I got to tell people what I'm thinking about doing before I do it. I tell people when it's too late. So second step, I tell people, listen, I'm thinking about killing this guy in my job. I'm thinking about marrying this girl. I'm thinking about, because I think crazy. I don't know. It sounds like a good idea to me, but and then later on, it wasn't a good idea. I should have spoke to somebody. So I learned these things in the steps, little ideas. First step, Raymond, you got an enemy that's trying to kill you. Your brain is trying to kill you. As smart as I am, as ingenious as I am, as beautiful as I am, as tough as whatever the hell I think about myself, I have a brain that's trying to kill me. Nobody has ever lied to me like I've lied to myself. I cannot spot self-deception. I'm an expert at self-deception. I need people who are further down the road, who have recovery, who have what I want. I need their guidance. I got to get humble. I got to get honest. I got to accept it. My best thinking did not bring me to Narcotics Anonymous. I wish it did. My best thinking got me to Rikers Island. It was the grace of God that brought me to Narcotics Anonymous. My best thinking is not good at all. Second step, go to people who have more experience. Go to people, let them know what I'm thinking about doing. Take guidance. Learn how to take suggestions. Learn how to trust the program. Don't trust Raymond. Raymond's way never worked. Raymond's way gets him in trouble. Raymond had to learn these days. It's hard when you grew up. I got to trust me. I'm the only one. No, you can't trust you. You've lied to yourself. You've done, I'm insane. Not when I was on drugs. Today, 33 years, 11 months clean. I still got a disease. I'm still trying to kill me. I still got to check in so I don't check out, blah, blah, blah. I still got to work the program. And so in the third step, I started just, if my way doesn't work and Gil knows a way that's work, why not do it Gil's way? If my way doesn't work and Glenn knows how to get, why not? If my way doesn't work and Peter knows what's wrong with me, that I know my way doesn't work and Peter's way works, or Michael knows what he's doing, or Laurie knows, why don't you just take suggestions? Just learn how to take suggestions. And I did that little by little by little. And so now fast forwarding, I began to continue the program, and I've been clean a long time. I've learned humility is not a bad thing. Humility is a good posture so that great things can happen. Being egotistical, being the smartest guy in the room, that's a setup for failure. I got to be humble. I got to stay in a humble posture. I need help still. I got, I've been very blessed. I'm a lot, I've been clean all my 20s, all my 30s, all my 40s. Now I'm in my 50s. I've been clean a long time. I'm married. I got this. I got that. I got, beautiful family. I'm in Florida right now, right? I'm in Florida right now. I'm performing, I'm officiating my grandnephew's wedding, right? So my nephew, who I love dearly, who I used to pick up at drug spots because his mother would leave him. She was me and my sisters were drug addicts. My nephew, who's now an adult with grown children, I loved him, and I was, he's been my nephew. He had children. The kids are 22 years. His children are 22. I'm marrying my 22-year-old nephew. We serving God together, praying together, worshiping. Crazy stuff has happened in my life because I made NA meetings. I got my family back. I'm what they call the patriarch of the family. When they got a son, they call me Uncle Ray. What should I do, Uncle Ray? Uncle Ray? I was the black sheep. I was messed up. Now I'm the my sisters call me, my nephews call me, their children call me. They're happy that I'm here. I get to come and add value to my family. My daughter's getting married. My daughter, we're talking about her wedding plans, and I'm talking about love and intimacy, and I'm talking to my daughter about sex, which is weird for me. I'm Puerto Rican culturally. It was just very weird talking to my 24-year-old daughter about sex, and just I got a life beyond anything I remember. I was a dirty drug addict on the streets going to Rikers Island. I was messed up. I'm not that. I'm a productive member of society. I got achievements and success things. I own a home in Florida. I own a home in New York. I got stuff. I got stuff. Don't got me. I got certifications. I help people over the world. NA has changed my life. And I've learned no matter how big my life gets, make sure that I got a big enough program that can sustain that life. I've seen a lot of people build big lives, little programs. Big life, little program, it comes tumbling down. I need to have a strong foundation. I got to have the Living Clean book says that we can build skyscrapers, which is, interesting. Skyscrapers, right? I'm building a skyscraper. I got an incredible life. Married, grandkids, children, all this stuff. I'm flying from here to Connecticut to speak at a convention in Connecticut. I'm going to Delray. I'm coming back to Florida, and then from there I'm going to Texas, and I'm going to London. I'm going to Pakistan. I'm going to I'm living an incredible life. A dirty, filthy drug addict who didn't have money for a slice of pizza. I come to meetings, I get a sponsor, I take suggestions, learn how to take suggestions. And, I got friends like Glenn. I said, Glenn, can Glenn has got me out of trouble before. And, my daughter said, where is Glenn going to say, yeah, I'm going to call. This is crazy. I got connections. I got the hookup. I know people today, And so I'm just very grateful. And so when Glenn said this, can you speak? It's 11 o'clock at night. I can speak. Sometimes inconvenient service is the most rewarding service. Sometimes you got, so I make meetings still. I got my sponsor. I just talking to my sponsor earlier today. I'm trying to get somebody to drive my sponsor to Connecticut to meet me so we can hang out in Connecticut, right? I got sponsees. Talking to my sponsees today. I'm still doing the same things, not a little bit more. I'm doing the same things that I did when I first got here. It works. One of the biggest things that I see is the people with clean time stop doing what works. It works. Meetings still make sense. But I don't, all these years clean, meetings still make sense. I was at a meeting yesterday with a couple of my friends. Meetings still make sense. If I got time to go eat a nice piece of lobster or whatever, I got time to make a meeting. I make time for meetings. I meet people in recovery. I'm on a meeting. I love this virtual platform. I could be on here. I could go all over. I love it. People are like, man, you don't like. So I like the virtual. I like the virtual. I like the virtual. I get to see my friends. I get to meet new people. And then I go and then I meet the people from the squares. I get to see them in person. So today's just for today, real quick, because I know I got a little bit of time. I'm going to shut it down. It talks about take a deep breath. I think it says, which is important. I learned how to breathe in NA. Like I didn't know how to breathe. I learned how to breathe, relax, hold it for a minute, breathe. Breathe. I learned how to breathe. I stopped breathing in my addiction. Everything. Just I know. I know how to take a deep breath, and I get to pray and ask God to help me from little dumb stuff like my key might not work in the hotel. I got to go back downstairs and say my key is not magnetized, whatever. To I got to bury loved ones. From there's going to be highs and lows. There's going to be difficulties. You know, I've had these strokes to my brain, and I've been waiting for my brain to get better. My brain is not getting better. It's okay. At least I got no paralysis. I found gratitude in my attitude. Right, the cup is not half empty. The cup is half full. I get to choose my different perspective. So my eyesight is not too good, and my memory is not too good. But I got other things that I'm grateful that I have, and so I get to change my perspective. I get to experience life like I never had before. I went shopping today. Like I got money if I want to go. I'm a drug addict. Like people, I want to tell people, like, you don't understand. I'm a drug addict. Like I was lost. I was existing amongst the dead. I was like I think there was a big show like the zombies. I was a zombie. I didn't go to school. I didn't go to work. I didn't eat. I didn't go to doctors. I used to live and I lived to use. And then I come to NA and I get this incredible life. One day at a time, work the program, take suggestions, call your sponsor, make coffee, do service. Don't be a spiritual shoplifter. You can't just come and take. You got to give back, or you cannot keep it. You cannot keep it if you don't give it away. Right? I've learned some things. I learned if you're a taker, you're always gonna be thirsty. If you learn how to give, you'll find fulfillment. I learned that. Oh, I want everything, no money down. No. Stop with that mentality. Give, serve. What can you add to the meeting? What can you do for someone today? How can you help? Not always about me. I've learned some things. I learned how to live life. Somebody said you're very emotionally intelligent. I say, what is that emotionally intelligent? That's a thing. Yeah, emotional intelligence is a thing. Oh, that's great. I got the emotional intelligence from NA. I got stuff I don't even know I got. Right. And so if you're new, please give yourself a chance. 90 meetings in 90 days. Don't let the disease play you for a sucker. Right? Some of us went to great extremes to use. Now we got to do some simple, dumb stuff. And, we act like little babies, some of us. Not you guys, but the guys I deal with over here, it's like, we went to great extremes. I became the Puerto Rican Spider-Man. I'm climbing buildings, doing, burglaries. I'm walking miles. I'm in shootouts. I'm kicking in. I do all this crazy stuff for drugs. And now I can't do these little, simple things for my recovery. Can't be. I got to be willing to make the effort. And so I'm grateful. I'm excited. I bought a new suit. Right, I bought a new. I don't wear suits usually, and I'm always around people in business who have suits on, and in my spiritual, when I go worship God, I don't wear suits, right? But I bought myself a suit. Right? I got to do a wedding. My double X suit don't fit me no more. I'm wearing a medium. I went from 4X to 3X. I'm looking at a medium. I got a little medium on. I'm like, yo, this is crazy, And so I'm recovering physically now. Gil P, I tell you, he gave me. I'm thinking about being a vegan. I'm Puerto Rican. Can I eat no pernil? What would life be like with no pernil? I'm having these ideas. I never thought about being a vegan before in my life. Right, but in recovery, you get exposed to new information. People do things; they give you their hope shots for you. And maybe if he could do it, maybe I can do it. What's blocking me from that next level of my recovery? What's blocking me from getting more freer? What's blocking me from experiencing more health? What's blocking me from unlimited growth is promised in Narcotics Anonymous. Unlimited growth. You know what that means? Unlimited growth. If you look at the step working guide, if I do the work, I can have the desires of my heart. I can have the desires of my heart. I was doing a step workshop out of the step working. And yeah, you could. If you're willing to do the work, you can experience what other people experience. So I'm very grateful. You got a bunch of people here. I think I shared for a good amount of time. If you're new, please give yourself a break. If you've been around for a while, let me talk to you 1 minute. If you've been around for a while, I suggest, let me tell you something, step work. Ain't nothing, I got a sponsor, he got like 38 years. I said, ain't nothing more sexier than a guy with 38 years clean talking about he's doing a first step again. Ooh, I said, that's a sexy mother hubber right there, boy. 38 years doing a first step again. You know, I encourage people, step work. Step work is not just for newcomers. My step work. I'm doing step work. So if you've been around for a while, 2025 is here. Some more step work won't hurt nobody. I'm suggesting people with clean time, give another go around, see what you discover, see what the fourth step looks like from this perspective, and so forth. So I'm grateful I'm clean. I'm a satisfied customer. I will never be able to pay back what NA has given me, right? I would never. I just FaceTime my wife. Oh, she said she loved me, she missed me. My daughter says, when you coming home? I got 2 dogs that we rescued. I became a dog lover. I can't believe I'm a dog lover. Like I miss my dogs. I want to talk. All right. I love you guys. Glenn, thank you for letting me share. I'm an addict. My name is Raymond. We do recover.